It's election season in India. 986 million people will head to the ballot box. What will the average voter look like? Most likely, they'll be between the age of 18 to 30. We're a country of 1.4 billion people. It's a young population. 65% of it is below the age of 35, 50% below the age of 25. This is the youth that will shape the country in the years to come. But who will they be voting for? For a much older candidate, someone between the age of 45 to 65, only 12% of the current MPs, members of parliament in India, are below 40 years of age. Will this election see better representation of the youth? What do the young voters want? Who do they support? How do they track political updates? What are their biggest concerns? I'm Palki Sharma, and this is Between the Lines. Generation Z, commonly known as Gen Z, it refers to people born between 1997 and 2012. The oldest are a few years into their career. The youngest are about the age of 12. There's a lot said about Gen Z and a lot that defines them. Many of them came of age during a global pandemic. They live with climate anxiety. A volatile financial landscape shapes their careers, plus they are the first digital natives, meaning they grew up with the internet. There's a lot that is unique about them, and it reflects in their politics too. Gen Z is ready to shake up the electoral landscape. In 2020, they shaped the US presidential election. 65% of young voters voted for Joe Biden. In Indonesia this year, first-time voters played an outsized role. They voted in former General Prabowo Subianto. And in India too, the Gen Z is quite active politically. Look at this survey. It looks at Indian adults between the age of 18 to 40, what they like and what they dislike. And here's what the survey found. Politics is the new sleigh, pardon the Gen Z lingo. But the numbers support this. 77% of them find voting attractive. 41% say it is important for them. They want a partner who will be politically active. 46% believe political affiliations are important. 44% say open-mindedness in political issues is important. Some of them even have red lines. 15% of Gen Z say they will not date someone who does not vote. So politics is crucial for them. And soon many of them will exercise their democratic right. In 2019, India had 15 million first-time voters in the 18 to 19 age group. This year, the number has gone up to 18 million. States have reported a surge in the number of young voters. West Bengal, Odisha, Maharashtra, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, all of these states have more first-time voters. So the youth is an important electorate, which is why political parties are trying to woo them. But how do you appeal to the Gen Z? How do you reach them? The obvious answer would be social media. That's where the youth spend their lives. So if you want to attract them, you have to be tech savvy. 40% say they get political updates from Instagram. 26% choose YouTube. 17% get updates from Twitter. Only 12% opt for Facebook. Which is why political parties are now changing strategy. They're doing digital campaigns, joining hands with influencers, making reels, reaching out to the young, all on social media. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is connecting virtually with first-time voters. Rahul Gandhi is interacting with the youth in universities. There are e-magazines and podcasts. But are these strategies working? How does the youth select their party? There are a lot of metrics. 19% say they look at issues raised by the party. 15% look at the party's leadership. 10% are influenced by families. If their family supports a party, chances are they will vote for the same. 14% say they look at whether the party has a young candidate. 10% look at community or caste. If a candidate is from the same community or caste, they are more likely to vote for them. So even the young vote their caste when they cast their vote. And they've had clear preferences over the decades. In the 1950s to 1960s, Jawaharlal Nehru was Prime Minister. He had a larger-than-life image, and the youth liked that. Nearly 47% first-time voters then voted for the Congress party. That support fell drastically in the 1970s. Inflation was high, there was unemployment, plus the emergency. All of it affected the youth sentiment. Around 28% voted for the Congress party then. In the 1990s, the economy of India opened up. The Congress support remained intact. It was at 32% among first-time voters. But other parties were also making gains, like the BJP, the Bharatiya Janata Party. Between 1990 and 2000, the BJP was the preferred party for first-time voters. And that increased dramatically in 2014. That's when 34% of the youth voted for the BJP. In 2019, the number went up. 41% of the youth voted for the BJP. They were seen as the X factor behind the BJP's resounding win. Compare that to the opposition. In both 2014 and 2019, only 19% of the youth of India voted for the Congress party. So the youth's choice has been clear. So is their list of concerns. Topping it is unemployment. Close to 8 million young Indians enter the job market every year, and there aren't enough jobs to keep up. In 2014, India's employable youth made up almost 34% of the population. Today, that share is up to 51.3%, which explains why jobs are their primary concern. 36% see this as the biggest problem. Then there's poverty. 18% young voters view this as a huge concern. 13% worry about inflation. 6% are concerned about corruption, and 4% are bothered by India's big population. These factors will probably shape their choices in this election. So the number of young voters is growing, and they are politically active, which is a good thing. But there are some challenges too, like voter registration. First-time voters must register to vote. Not all of them are doing it. The second problem is voter apathy, especially in urban areas. The young may be politically charged and opinionated, but will they go out to cast their vote? Or will it all fizzle out on election day? It's a growing concern. The Election Commission of India has been raising it. They're taking initiatives to fix it, like going to malls, registering at campuses, and asking the youth to sign up. But it still remains an uphill battle. So if you're a young voter, know this. Your vote will shape your country. Your choice matters. It's both your right and your duty. You may think it's only one vote. What can that change? But imagine if thousands think the same way. It would make a huge difference. So every vote matters. It's your democratic duty. Get registered, learn about your constituency and candidates, take part in the election, and cast your vote. It's more important than you think.